What it do, y'all? Y'all know what time it is. Back at the Coded Entry Sanctuary, Season 2. Here and now, I'll be your host at the forefront of this motherfucker. I know y'all like, damn, what's going on with the gang? We going through a little bit of transitions. Don't worry, you'll be seeing some familiar faces soon enough. Trust and believe that. And in the meantime, I do want to shout out to everyone who was able to check out the Juneteenth episode. I made that thing at like 2 in the morning. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Your boy was definitely in that mix there. But I'm glad that I was able to do stuff like that, man. I really wanted to, you know, share a little bit of insight in regards to, you know, exactly the inner workings of yours truly, Klepto Kev. So I'm glad I was able to be able to do that. And there definitely is going to be more interactions such as that one, man, because there's a lot of things that I want to be able to touch up on, besides just what's going on in the media and things like that. But without further ado, man, where do I begin? Like, so much going on from when we last spoke. You had a whole, what was it? You had a whole Kendrick and Drake war. You got streamer university. That's the thing now. That's why you see what I'm rocking now. I had to kind of low key ditch the couch now. I'm over here rocking a gaming chair. I mean, I at this point I was thinking, shit. With me trying to even jump on streaming at this point, I only gonna get about like 2 people watching that shit. So I might as well just start off somewhere. I mean, until at least I'm able to, get a few numbers up, which I'm glad. I'm more than sure I'll be able to do. I'll say definitely be on the lookout for them real life streams. I actually did one of them on the Coded Entry TikTok, man. That was definitely an amazing time. And with that being said, one thing that I did want to be able to let you guys know about is a little of the, I guess, new faces that you will be seeing throughout this time of season 2. I wanted to really be able to encapsulate exactly what it is that we do here, how we're constantly on the grind, and how we're constantly moving forward, man, all day, every day. And there's, like I was saying, so much going on in the world. First of all, I'm not really the political type when it comes to a lot of things, but in terms of like everything that's going on in Israel and Iran and stuff like that with them, bro, that shit right there, I ain't even gonna lie, I'm a little bit worried. I ain't even gonna lie to you, cause that shit is getting serious. Not only do we have that going on, LA, oh my goodness, they are not playing out there. I was seeing a few of the clips, some of the interactions going on out there. You even got it to where you got ICE pulling up to schools. I seen this one clip. It was this teacher bawling his eyes out because he had to sit there and witness children and families getting broken up and split apart right before his very eyes. I'm like, bruh, what? This is absolutely insane, man. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. You know, you got to get like, what's his name? Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. He hits the, what's his name? Cabby Lane. You see what he did? He made his money and did. That man there never said a word. Didn't have to make millions. He just voluntarily gave himself up. That's the crazy thing about it. After being detained, he was like, all right, y'all ain't got to detain me. I'll book my flight. He was like, I did what I had to do. I don't blame him on that one. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I do not blame him on that one. I, I mean, how many people actually just want to be able to do that, but there's just a few bad apples? You know what I mean? That part. But I don't want to get too into the back and forth when it comes to stuff like that, because I know how touchy of a subject that can, potentially be. And speaking of, touchy subjects, one of my things, between Trump and Elon's in that mix too. I know they was over there beefing, having a little war, whatever. Um, yeah, we need to start revoking Teslas. Because why is it that you teamed up with this man knowing that he might have had something to do with Epstein, but you won't bring that out until you guys have a disagreement? That's crazy. That's crazy. You knew that beforehand and still decided to team up with that man. That's disgusting. You's a wild dude, fully and completely. So if they're burning your cars or doing this, that, and the third, I mean, let that be a reason. Not condoling any violence of any sort, you know what I mean? I'm not here to do that here at Coded Entry. We are a professional based business, and we handle things accordingly, you know. Uh, but yeah, that right there was a serious issue. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And but between both of them, that's why I say I don't really get into politics, because it's just, for some people, man, it's like all they eat and breathe. It's like you can't even have a conversation. You ask somebody, how's your day going? And the next question they ask you is who you voted for. And, you got your liberals and Republicans. I didn't even realize that there was more parties than just two. I think somebody said there was like, there's like at least like 30 different ones. And I was like, that's crazy. I guess the biggest ones is just the Democrats and Republicans because they got the most money. But knowing that actually blew my mind. I actually learned something new on that one. But I told you, I'm not big on politics. I don't be doing that. Like, we got other things to do right now. You know what I mean? We ain't got time for all that haberdashery. Yeah, up your vocab, haberdashery. Look that up. Because that's what a lot of y'all be talking from time to time. Y'all talking that haberdashery. You feel me? So yeah, I just wanted to be able to jump right on into things, man. See what's popping with y'all. See what's crack-a-lacking, See what's the dealio. Y'all know they had the BET Awards. They had the BET Awards this year. I was surprised at how many people actually showed up, because with a lot of the years that BET has done their awards, it's been very lackluster. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like the Grammys is any better. And then on top of that, why are we not supporting our people? New, old, why? You know what I mean? It's the one channel, the one award show that actually pertains to us. And half of the time, you ain't even got people going and showing up to it. But I was very surprised. I seen Playboi Carti in there. He was going stupid. Young Thug. I don't know what Young Thug is. He was rapping Mariah the Scientist up in one clip that I seen. And then they had the streamers there with Tylil, Kai, and them. That's another thing, actually. I don't know what it is. And this is another reason for why I'm not too much in a rush to get on the streaming things, because I'm seeing a lot of interactions between streamers and other people, such as movie stars, artists, music artists. It seems like there's some sort of stigma between streamers and any other form of entertainment at this point in time. I don't know if because Kai doing things at such a level that they just don't see how they can compete. I don't know what it is, but it just seems as if at this point in time, you can see it. You can see it. I'm not big on watching, streamers in real time, because I have my own life to live, so I ain't got time to be watching somebody else's life on a day-to-day. But the few clips that I did see of this man going through the awards show, he even had his homeboy Tylil. He was trying to bring one of his family members on in. She was like a little girl, whatever. They wouldn't allow her in until Kai showed up, and he had to walk around with her throughout the whole thing. I was like, oh man, that's weird. And they were saying he was one of the biggest ones hyping up the BET Awards. And I believe that, because if you got Playboi Carti to show up, I don't, that dude would be going ghost. What you mean? Like, so to get him to show up anywhere, yeah, he was definitely boosting it for sure. So with that, that's why I'm saying this whole streamers thing, man. I'm definitely going to dibble dabble in it for sure. Y'all going to see a lot of it. I want to do more of the real live streams. I'd rather be out and about. I ain't trying to show y'all sitting down. If I'm going to show y'all sitting down, I'm just going to film it and do a nice little podcast. do this, do that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I ain't got time for it. I did want to talk about what's new. So, along with the podcast, I will be doing a lot more interactive, or should I say reactive things, do some reactions to a lot of the things that are going on out there in the world. That's a little bit more time based. So I want to be able to kind of match the same speed of a few others and how they see a lot of things hit the news and then they talk about it right then and there. So you guys will be seeing a lot more of that. That will be coming out soon. But as for this season, I definitely wanted to be able to, like I said, showcase a lot of new faces, a lot of new talent, a lot of interesting people out there that I've been able to meet along the way. I talked a little bit, dibble dabbled a little bit on it on the Juneteenth episode. So with this one, it's definitely going to be good for sure. So I wanted to take the time to kind of dibble dabble with that. And, you know, oh, you know what else? There was one. So in the previous season, I was talking about this man, and I told y'all before too. That just hit me too. There's not enough known about this man, especially with his background. But now it seems like we know enough. That nigga Diddy, yo, that shit is crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you, and I'm not even gonna say too much about it because that nigga's gonna get out. And I know y'all like, bro, what are you talking about? That nigga not good. No, that nigga's gonna get out. You wanna know how I know that nigga's gonna get out? Because Jay-Z hasn't said anything. That's why. Jay-Z hasn't said a word. If he was certain that that man was gonna be locked up, he would have at least said a word, talked about something pertaining to this shit. You got this nigga going crazy with baby oil, got Cassie in that bitch too, going crazy. That's why that settlement money, that hush money does something. And now she wrapped up in that thing too. I think that whole debacle, that whole thing is just such a scary situation of being in the upper echelons when you just got too much money, you just bored, and now you just start doing wild, freaky shit with it. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And it is very terrifying to believe because if we're being honest, I think he's been doing it the longest, but I refuse to think he was the only one. I know there's way, way more people out there that's on that same type of time and that nigga was, which is why he was able to do it for so long, which is why he was able to feel as comfortable as he did doing it. Because it was something that seemed to have been widely accepted amongst Hollywood. That's what he's like, in all levels, in all spaces and places, you have your ones you want to be cool with and you have your ones you want to avoid. And with something like this, you can definitely see what side he was standing on for sure. For sure. I'm like, yo, that is absolutely crazy. Then you got the finals, the NBA finals. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, this NBA finals is like somebody press random. Cause I ain't even gonna hold you. In all the years of watching the NBA, this has been one of them ones to where I honestly wouldn't mind who wins. I really won't. Ain't none of the teams that I'm used to seeing appear there are there. Surprisingly, at least the Celtics. I even thought the Celtics at least was gonna, you know what I mean? They've been on a smooth run for a while now. Something, but yeah, that one definitely caught me off guard. For real, for real. And then no more, TNT with Shaq, Kenny Smith, Ernie, Charles. That's a done dizzle now, and I'm so surprised because it's one of TNT's biggest, you know, things I would say that's on their network. For them not to want to keep that and hold on to that, is very surprising, none the least. I don't even feel like now, mind you, they are moving to ESPN, but still that TNT man, that's it's a sort of nostalgia. They've been there for damn near what? I think it's about what 20, maybe close to 20 years, if not more. So, very surprised by that. Very, very surprised. And, I'm really hoping that, of course, with them being on ESPN, they can still have that same nostalgia, you know, for real, for real. Because I like that show a lot. It was one of those ones where you could just be hanging, chilling. I remember when I was younger, and when I was a kid, and we used to actually go over each other's friends' house to play video games together, and not just have to rely on us having Wi-Fi, and actually, interact with people and remember what it's like to have a conversation with them. That when the world was actually interactive with one another, those days. We we used to chill, play 2K, watch some games, and we had the setup too. We had the TV working with the cable. I know a lot of people ain't got cable nowadays. I ain't even got cable. Actually, I don't even know who even got cable nowadays with all these streaming services. Like, are they even? Is it even a thing anymore? And honestly, it actually with the way streaming services is going, especially the way I use it, because I'll sit there and buy a streaming service. At one point I was spending like, I was spending like a smooth like 150 on like streaming services just to be able to watch maybe one or two shows on each one, and just for them to be like, oh yeah, y'all did y'all first season, let's cancel this. You know how livid I was? I was pissed. Like, pissed. Not even gonna lie to you. There's a few good shows too that I really enjoyed on there. Like between Apple, Paramount had a few good ones. Like the list goes on because I feel like they're always coming out with new ones, especially Tubi. Don't even get me started on Tubi. What in the world? They be changing people's hairstyles mid scene. I think that one is just literally just for people to be able to have on in the background while they're doing other things. Like that's not one of those. That's one of those like networks to where you kind of got your squint your eyes while you're watching it, because if you pay attention too close, you just gonna see the behind the scenes, and they ain't got time for all that. You know, I think that's one of the more that's one of the more funnier things in regards to Tubi, for real, for real. I always found that to be so hilarious. I seen one where like it was this one scene where this dude had went from a mustache to a full grown beard. It was like two scenes after. I seen a girl, she had short hair, and then they changed it, and she had long dreads and a ponytail. I was like, yo, what the? I was like, what are we doing? What's going on here? Are we changing directors, actors, mid scene? I was like, dang. Must got those actors on a time schedule. It was like, yeah, we only gonna pay you for about 20 minutes of film. That's probably how they really do it, actually, while I'm joking and shit like that. Like, that probably could be how they actually do it. Speaking of movies, a really good one that I'm actually looking forward to watching, Denzel Washington, and hear this out, A$AP Rocky. That combination, just alone, just me saying that sentence, it's one of those things to where you wouldn't expect it, and it's very surprising. But from what I've seen so far, it is definitely giving more upper echelon training day. I don't know, like that's the vibe that I'm kind of getting from it. And Spike Lee joined too, so definitely be sure to check that out. A lot of good movies coming out. I know y'all caught that Sinners. I know I'm late to the game. I did give it a watch for sure. One of Ryan Coogler's best films to date. This man does not miss. He's one of those directors that I would consider to be one of the more legendary new age directors that are creating scripts that are completely 100% original, good story, character development. Like, boy, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, though, being able to have that in Hollywood nowadays, especially with how often they just want to continue on throwing back in our faces remakes. Gosh, it's nice. It's really a breath of fresh air. And I'm a movie lover. I love my movies. I love my movies. I love my TV shows. So I definitely give that one for sure 10 out of 10. And it was a movie that I was definitely waiting for quite some time. And for that reason, uh, it was good. It was amazing. And another one, if you guys are looking at trying to get into some more, let's say, horror films, they got this one called Weapons. Literally, the synopsis is just a classroom full of kids in random locations throughout the town, all within one teacher's classroom, mysteriously at the same time around like 2 in the morning, literally run out their houses, never to be seen again. Boom. You want to talk about a mic drop? That's literally all that they give you in regards to the movie. And if you want to know more, you kind of got to wait. And I kind of like that. It doesn't give you too much in regards to what causes them to just get up and just do some shit like that. I actually just heard recently that Jordan Peele fired a few of his, I think, people in his team because of the fact that he didn't have the rights to that movie. Apparently, I guess they let it slip through their fingers, and he was highly upset about it. Knowing him, he was probably going to add a whole new twist to that thing. Maybe, hopefully, maybe something a little supernatural, something just a little spooky, just to add that nice little touch to things. Because right now, in terms of directors, I feel like right now he's 2-1 in regards to his movies. Get Out was good. I did like Us, but Nope. Yeah, that was a straight nope. That wasn't what I was expecting. Like, and I don't know if it was one of those things to where because of the hype that he had with Us, maybe in Get Out, he was trying to try something new. I don't know what it was, but that movie just was not it. At least for me, it just wasn't. Yeah, yeah. And I'm talking as if like I'm making movies my damn self, but I wouldn't mind being in one. That's honestly the goal. Y'all trying to see Klepto Kev in a movie? That's too easy. I'm down for that. For real. I was already hearing they already got TikToks in in audition rooms. They got TikToks now. Like, trying to see if you can TikTok your way to the big screen. I mean, that's one way to do it. With what it is that I'm actually doing, especially with coded entry and what it is that we're doing here, we're versatile. We're completely versatile. There's multiple different layers to us. There's multiple different skill sets that we all are happy to have been blessed with. I would actually love to be able to, if not a movie, be able to write a TV show. I've always said that if I was to have a dream job, besides what it is that I'm doing here, because this is a lot of time, a lot of effort that is put into each and every episode and what it is that we're providing to you to make sure that the product is as good as possible. One dream job I would love just to be able to sit in a room and just hear the inner thoughts is Adult Swim. Adult Swim, 100%. I don't know if you guys ever watched the show. I know they have funny faces, but you're able to have a little bit of patience and to get past it. Common Side Effects is probably one of the most slept on TV shows that I've watched recently. And if it was filmed, I would say, in any other style than what it is that is currently now, it would not hit the same. This show literally, if I'm being completely honest, I think that this is something that actually happens in the pharmaceutical companies. I think there is I wouldn't even say it's just one. I think there are multiple different discoveries that these pharmaceutical companies are making to where they're literally taking cures, potential cures, and just watering them down, all for the sake of the dollar bill. 100%. And there's nothing that anyone can say to convince me otherwise. I think that's the honest truth. I think that's something that is currently going on. I think it's always been going on. And in terms of like this TV show, why it's so good, I think it really showcases that in a very, very unique way. And I want to really emphasize that word unique because it's not one of those TV shows that you're expecting to have that big of a potential impact or, I guess, insight. But yeah, definitely one of those good ones. And I look forward to, one day being able to get Welcome in the Room, maybe feature on a TV show. You mean, look, they even had Mike Tyson with a TV show at one point on there. So I mean, you want to talk about a group of open-minded individuals within the entertainment business? That's definitely Adult Swim. So, you know, it's to each his own. Before, you know, I, get into the see you next times and things for that matter. I really hope you guys have an amazing, blessed week. And on top of that, I think what I want to be able to start doing is leaving you guys with a tad bit of words of wisdom, just to be able to contemplate throughout the week. There's going to be times to where you're doing certain things for certain reasons. And I literally had to learn this the hard way. But it's you know what I mean? It happens. There's going to be literal reasons for why you are doing things to where they're no longer a reason anymore. And with that, you're kind of left with the decision as for what really is the true meaning behind what it is that you're doing and why it is that you're doing it. Whenever or if ever you get to that point, always keep one thing in mind. Are you doing this for you, or are you doing this for others? The reason why I say that is because, like I was saying before, in the midst of a lot of the things that you can be doing, a lot of the time that you're setting aside to be able to do certain things, you'll start to see the literal reasons as for why you're doing it slip away. It's like, what the, you know? Like, and it's tough. It does get tough. But I think when it comes to things like that, pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds. And with this little light of mine, I'm gonna make it shine. So always keep that in mind, y'all. Just a little bit of words of wisdom. Just to be able to dip a dabble from. You know, your boy Klepto Kev in the building once again, doing it big. I'm glad I got to spend this time with y'all. Y'all take it easy. Y'all have yourselves an amazing week. And I'll see you next time. Oh, I almost forgot. I know, right? A win next week. Sundays. So be on the lookout for new episodes dropping every Sunday. This will be the days that will begin your week. I wanted to be able to get you guys right after a nice little weekend being spent. And hopefully be able to share with you, what it is that I got going on during my weekends and things for that matter. I want to be able to incorporate a bit of that through the podcast, more so on YouTube, which I'll be able to have a lot more freedom with at this point in time. So, with that being said, be on the lookout. I'll see you guys next time.
All that this, you don't got no job, that's no ambition. I don't see shit, little bitch, I just did it. I'm running no X, I just took a with it. I just got that pen, got this on that 50. We don't even speak that same language. I'm getting money with lame bitch. I get booted up by myself, bitch. No, I ain't saying what you get, so I'm selfish. I'm too high, can't help it. I'm doing so much, it's not healthy. Creepy your house, I'm stealthy. Back then they ain't felt me. I'm praying because I was dope. Drum in my face melt. You and Molly make my brain melt. Fire, hold and change it.
No, because you're not. No, you're just not. Okay, well, obviously you're not clocking it. You're not. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business right now, is it? It's just not. Yo, what's up, bro? Y'all gotta wait until next week like everybody else, bro. What do you got going on here, yo? This is crazy.